Assassins from Tomorrow by Peter Heath. I know I owned this book sometime in my teen or early adult years, but like so many others, I never got around to reading it. So much science fiction, so little time. I picked this copy of the novel up at Gardner's Books in Tulsa in July of 2025. The book was never a hot seller, as is evidenced by the sticker on the cover indicating it was once discounted to 19 cents at the Arlen's department store. Both Arlen's and the novel's publisher, Lancer Books, filed bankruptcy in 1973. Coincidence? Who knows? Why am I asking that question? Just continue listening. One of the more interesting aspects of having read this book was the conflicting information I found on the internet when I tried to learn more about the author. An entry on the Science Fiction Encyclopedia website says he wrote only 4 novels, the 3 Mine Brothers novels, and a darkly comic crime caper novel called Night Trains. He is listed there as having been found dead in Sag Harbor in 1995. A blog called Strange at Ecbatan reviews the Mine Brothers novel by Heath, and in the comments, a reader going by the handle Winter says an article in New York Newsday in the summer of 1997 details the career and death of Peter Heath Fine and paints a somewhat sordid picture of his life. It says he was indigent and reduced to camping in a tent in the woods where he was found dead in the summer of 1997. According to the Goodreads author page for Robert Irvine, 5 pen names refer to the same person who is still alive. Born January 1st, 1936, he would be 89 years old now. The pseudonyms listed are Val Davis, R.R. Irvine, Peter Heath, Peter H. Fine, and Peter Heath Fine. We all know that internet information can be both fallible and misleading, sometimes intentionally so. Still, this is the first time I've run across this degree of confusion. I find it especially interesting since the author involved was considered prominent enough to have an article about his death in Newsday. Hastily written novels about espionage were a dime a dozen during the 1960s. The success of James Bond precipitated a whole slew of cheap imitators. Many of these novels contained high-tech science fiction elements. Peter Heath threw his hat into the ring with the so-called Mine Brothers series about an intelligence operative named Jason Starr and his companion Adam Cyber from the distant future. High points of this novel are the fact that it ostensibly centers on the JFK assassination. Not really. That angle is the equivalent of clickbait here. There is a point somewhere in the novel where Adam Cyber from the future explains to Mark Brown that his computer works on a system Mark knows nothing about. Mark is a computer whiz and does not believe such a system exists. Cyber's explanation of the system could be construed as referring to quantum computing. Later in the novel, the invaders from Earth's future are using what could be an artificially generated black hole to accomplish time travel. I found these little snippets intriguing, though the vast majority of the novel was standard pulp fiction stuff. Narrow escapes, sinister strangers, twists and turns galore spill out on the pages of this book. It has more modern situations and sensibilities, but the overall tone is similar to Doc Savage or any of a number of other series from pulp fiction's golden age. I enjoyed the bits that take place among ruined pyramids in Central America and the situations involving a Mexican boat captain named Mendez. But much of the rest of the novel is convoluted action that seems only to exist to give the book a proper word count. I have to say I enjoyed my speculations regarding the conflicting data on the author even more than I enjoyed the book. Is Peter Heath really Robert Irvine? If so, why the article in Newsday disparaging Heath and detailing his death? What about the possible references to black holes and quantum computing? And another thing, Book 1 in the Mine Brothers series was called The Mine Brothers. Assassins from Tomorrow was second in the series. However, on the spine of my book, it is designated as number 1 in the series. Should this be dismissed as a hasty, low-level publisher's incompetence? Was the novel intended as another bit of smokescreen to obscure the public's perception regarding the JFK assassination? By 1967, anyone paying attention knew the Warren Commission's version of the story was misleading at best. The intelligence community using books to secretly convey information has been fairly well documented. Does this book exist for that purpose? This is a conspiracy theorist treasure trove. Finally, on the cover of the book, why is the word assassins all lowercase, while from and tomorrow begin with uppercase letters? Yes, I've gone down the rabbit hole with this, but I have to admit it's been fun. Assassins from Tomorrow by Peter Heath. If you can find it, check it out.